Watch this video to the end if you love very sweet, pillowy and fluffy donuts just like this one you can see on your screen. And without wasting your time, let's get started. You'll be needing some flour, some eggs, some salt. You'll be needing melted fat or vegetable oil. You'll be needing instant yeast, some sugar and milk. So in a mixing bowl, pour in your dry ingredients. Remember, your dry ingredients are your flour, your sugar, your salt and your instant yeast. Now, if you do not have instant yeast, maybe you got dry yeast, you just have to mix your dry yeast with some warm water or milk with a little sugar or salt so that it can froth before you use it, okay? But if you have instant yeast, just go ahead like I did here. So mix all your dry ingredients together, then you begin to pour your wet ingredients. So without in no particular order, just pour your wet ingredients in: your milk, your melted fat or your vegetable oil, and then your eggs. Mix with your stand mixer if you have one, but if you do not have a stand mixer, please feel free to use your hand. You're just going to be kneading for a longer time if you're using your hand, but if you have a mixer, you'll be kneading for a shorter time. So if you're using a mixer, you're going to stop the mixer after some time and get the dough together, scrape the sides and make sure you get it together before you continue. So you're going to continue mixing. From time to time, check the mixture to be sure that it is ready or not ready. Okay, so at this point it is not ready. I want you to look closely into this mixer and see why I said it's not ready. Can you see the dough tearing out? Can you see the dough tearing out? So the dough is tearing out, and this is our confirmation that it is not ready. So we mixed again for some minutes, a few more minutes, and we got this result. Now the dough is ready. It is stretchy, it is not tearing apart, and it is time to get it out of the bowl. Using your spatula, just scrape the bowl and be sure that all that dough gets out. Okay, so on a working surface, I just want to bring the mixture together, like knead it a little with my hand, but you're not going to be kneading for so long. Remember that the mixture have done the work already. I am just bringing it together, making sure it is not sticky. This is why I'm using my hand to do this. I just want to make sure it's not sticky. Now, if you use your hand to knead, this is how you confirm that your dough is ready. You try to stretch it out, and if it doesn't cut so quickly, you know that your dough is ready. Okay, so here I am just needing to be sure that my mixture is not sticky to my hand or to any surface. Okay, now I am done. So for you to know that it is truly ready, the final test, if you press your dough, it will bounce up just like that. Okay, if you press your dough, it will bounce up just like that. So in your bowl, pour some oil and place your dough back into the bowl. Now, the reason I'm pouring this oil, or I'm rubbing the bowl with oil, is so that when the dough proofs, it will come off easily. So place that dough and make sure the oil gets to every part of the dough, just like that. All right, cover with a clean cloth and set aside in a warm place for 45 minutes. Okay, so after 45 minutes, you check up on your mixture and see that it's ready. You see, it came off easily because we used the oil to rub in the bowl, and we made sure that the oil was distributed all over this dough. At this point, please do not be tempted to knead this dough again. the dough is ready to put into shapes and sizes. Now, you'll be needing your measuring scale to be sure that all the donuts would be of the same size. If you don't have this type of scale, please use whatever you have. You can use your electronic scale, you can use your plastic scale, any scale you have. Please just use it to be sure that your donuts would be all of the same size. Okay, so after scaling the dough, I will just mold into balls. All right, now while scaling your dough, if you notice that it is not the size that you want it to be, like these ones, I weighed them to be 80 grams each. So if you put it on your scale and it weighs above 80 grams, take off little by little until you get to the point that you have chosen for yourself. 80 grams is my preference. You can choose to do 100 grams, 70 grams, 60 grams, just depending on how you want it to be. So we have all our doughs rolled up and ready to set aside again. So this time we're setting it aside for a longer time. So we're going to be setting aside for 2 hours or above. If you wait for 2 hours and it's not still ready, please feel free to wait again. Okay, now we are setting this aside. Remember to always cover with a clean cloth. So after a few hours, our donuts are ready to be fried. They are ready to be fried. At this point, I can't wait to start to eat. Now you have to check your oil, making sure that your vegetable oil is not too hot and is not too cold. When you place your skewer in the oil, it will just sizzle a little, so you can start dropping your donuts in the oil. Please do not overcrowd your vegetable oil. Just allow it fry gently. Turn over like this. Can you see that beautiful golden brown donuts? Our donuts are ready. You're sure that it is perfect when you see these bright rings around it. And just like that, our fluffy, sweet donut is ready to be devoured. Okay, if you have watched to this point, say donuts in the comments.